I hear so much. I just don't have the talent of actual musician, being a musician. I wish I did. If I had that on top of what I can do, production wise in terms of vocals, writing, and arrangement, I'll be Quincy Jones, baby.
Awesome. Well, I'm Adam, by the way, and this podcast is about you and your journey in music and how you got to where you are now.
Oh, that's what's up. Let's do it.
Cool, cool. So talk to me about where were you born and raised?
Born in Chicago, Illinois, and partly raised there. And then my grandparents migrated to Columbus, Ohio for my informative years, I would say. And then from that point, went to the military and then college and all that. And the rest is history.
Okay. So when did you move to Columbus?
Probably about when I was about 5 or 6. And then I graduated high school, moved back to Chicago in my mid-20s. So I claim Chicago as home. Columbus is like pit stop.
Okay. A Buckeyes fan?
The Buckeyes. Hey, for all the love they have for the Buckeyes in Ohio, man, they disappoint them more often than they reward them.
Right, exactly, totally. I just funny. My family in Cleveland, and a couple of my uncles, or one of my uncles, went to Ohio State, and he took me to a game there, and it was wild. I mean, it seems like anything that's going on at that school is like news to Columbus. That's like the
NFL of college. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah. So well, awesome. I can't say I'm not a Buckeye fan. I'll just say that it's okay.
Yeah, I get it. Right on. Well, how did you get into music?
Oh man, as far as the industry is concerned, in the mid '90s, I was in the military. But prior to that, I've always loved music. I think a lot of African Americans are kind of like, we were raised with a lot of music helping us through the struggle of slavery, civil rights movement, and all of the changes and transitions in America, man. So I think that music has been a staple of our ability to, just to get through a lot of adversity and trials through in our culture. So that I've always loved music. I think most of us do. So with that being said, being in the music industry, that's a whole different beast. So I started that in the mid '90s.
Okay. Were you a singer or anything growing up? Like choir, chorus?
Oh yeah. That's all I did. I didn't play sports. I did more music, glee,
cool.
Ensemble, senior choir, talent shows, just all over the place singing. Yep, in the hallways, getting in trouble in school, always in the principal office for singing to the high balls and stuff.
Rad. Do you play an instrument?
Nah, the only instrument I play is vocals, and I produce. I hear so much. I just don't have the talent of actual musician, being a musician. I wish I did. If I had that on top of what I can do, production wise in terms of vocals, writing, and arrangement, I'll be Quincy Jones, baby.
So you're in the military, and then when did you start focusing on trying to get into the music industry?
About 93, I was in the military. I went to the Army right out of high school, 18. Okay. About 1993, that's when they were downsizing after the Kuwait Gulf War. That was quite. I think that was Gulf. Yeah, the Gulf War, Desert Storm. Around that time, they were downsizing because the military had gotten so big, and so they started letting people go. So I sang with a R&B group, and all of us were soldiers. That's how we formed our group as military guys. We would call ourselves At Ease.
Wow.
Which is a military term for rest and chill out. You know what I mean? So they started downsizing and let us out, man, under a management contract agreement we had with Joe, R&B singer Joe Thomas. We were saying backgrounds for him, and the rest is history, man. So from that point, I got bit with the industry, the music industry, in terms of looking for searching for a record deal, wanting to live that dream of a major label and all that stuff. That started in like 93.
Oh, wow. Okay. So did you form the R&B group while you're in the Army?
Yes, sir. We did. We would traveling. We were all stationed in Germany, different areas of Germany. And we came together once a week for rehearsals, and we were just singing that's back when Boyz II Men, Shy, and Silk and all them, and Jodeci and all were killing the R&B game. I mean, that's when the big budgets were huge for R&B. So, yeah.
So then you were able to sing back be a backup singer for For
For
Joe?
Joe. Yeah, that's how we. So what happened was we won a talent show in Germany, and the grand prize was to be flown into New York to Harlem to the Apollo. And then
wow.
Yeah, so once you got to the Apollo, they flew us there. We didn't win, but we didn't get booed. But we were sorely disappointed because we just knew we was going to win. You know, you gotta have that little, you know, when you're young in your early teens, like 20s, you know, we gonna win. So, but we didn't get booed, which is an important thing. And it was amateur nights. The amateur night is not the same as Showtime, obviously. Showtime is more pre-produced and all that in production, but amateur night is raw. Tom, Dick, and Harry, every Susie, Sally, Mae there, bro. You can get booed. Kid, you singing against a kid. We lost to a kid.
Oh, wow.
Because that's how amateur night works. Everybody can sign on that part. But
and if the kid, they probably give a little bit more grace period. They're like, oh, he's a cute kid.
No, that kid was killing it.
Oh, he was? Okay.
He was singing when a man loves a woman in an all-white suit, but killing it.
That's cool.
So we were coming back after we didn't get booed, so we were great about that, but we were not happy flying all the way from Germany. Germany did not win. So, but we started singing down an escalator in Times Square, and next thing you know, someone heard us. They exchanged numbers. Next thing you know, we're auditioning for Joe's management team and his label and stuff, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's cool. So you were in Germany, and you did a talent contest while you're still in the Army at this point?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And right after that happened, we got the management agreement. They wanted us to sign to their management company. We submitted that paperwork to the military. They let us out, severance pay and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's impressive. That's really cool.
Yes, sir.
So then you get into now you're in the industry, and what happens next? After Joe and all that happened.
You start paying your dues and learning how the game works. You know how it goes. So we bushy-eyed, young, wide-eyed, and just anxious. And first you got to remember we were all stationed in Germany for like 3 or 4 years. So we were missing America. We hadn't had Wendy's, McDonald's, girls and women, whatever
right.
Really like clothes and cross colors was hot. The flat tops, the gold chains. We were just like, we came back here and lost our minds after being over in Europe for 40 years, so when you don't have the discipline you need, and what's crazy about it, you would think being military guys, we would exhibit a lot more discipline in terms of what we need to do, focus on to be successful in the music business, but we just could not pull it together. And so when you start lacking in certain areas, man, the music game don't wait on you, bro. They ain't gonna wait till you mature. You will find you'll lose your opportunity because you weren't ready. That's kind of how it goes. So that's what happened. So we kind of like didn't have the discipline, and people weren't focused, and and also Joe's management situation changed. And so when them opportunities come, if you don't capitalize off them, they can change quickly as they became an option. They can become a non.
Right. And from there, is that when you started when did you start St. Jaimz as a solo career?
Okay, well, I used to be an artist named Stanley James, and I was really popular in Europe, in Germany, England, France.
Oh, wow.
And I was actually one of the first artists on CD Baby to break through as an independent artist on that platform. When Derek Sivers is a good friend of mine, the former president of CD Baby.
Really?
So, I know Derek very well.
That's a huge brand now. I mean, everyone uses that for distribution, right?
Correct. Yeah, but when CD Baby was in its infancy stages, I was one of the first artists to launch off of there. So,
wow.
It's crazy. So the black background is real strong. So CD Baby was open up opportunity for me to go to Europe and tour over there and sing. And Southport Weekender is a big festival they do out there in I think England every year and stuff. It was just a phenomenal going over there and just singing, man. Berlin, I've been to Berlin, Sweden, Norway.
Wow.
My passport has a few food stamps on it.
Just a couple.
Yes, sir.
That is so cool. So, I mean, now you're able to do that independently, just based on the distribution of CD Baby?
Yeah, at the time, man, it was just because the internet was still, that was fresh in the 90s, but the internet wasn't as dominant as a platform as it is now, just from research from Google to that's back when AOL was still big time. You know what I'm saying? AOL.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know when you say AOL. So, and by the way, I'm 53 and I'm proud of it. I don't care about ageism, and I don't let my age prohibit me from doing what I love to do and continue to still do it. But some people tend to put a limit on your age in terms of art and sports and stuff like that. I don't let
I
that.
wouldn't. No, man, you're killing it still. I mean,
yes, sir.
So when did the project change then? When did you
Okay,
go
so when
to St. Jaimz?
yeah, well, what it was is back in 2000, I want to say 2002 or 4, when the industry took that shift from merchandise and from CDs and vinyl to straight digital.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when everything changed for me. I was shopping record deals still in 2004. Man, I would have label deals on the table, lots of money on opportunities, man. And what happened was the whole industry shifted. They shut down. Remember, all the labels shut down.
Oh,
they
yeah.
Restructured. Clyde Davis closed, shut down Arista, went over to BMG over in Europe. Everything just shifted. I was right there in the thick of all that shopping deals. Tommy Mottola. I went over to Casablanca, Motown. I hit them all up, and I was right there. I was on a precipice of a lot of great situations for my music, man, as an independent artist. And right when I started having those meetings, all of a sudden I was getting phone calls back from A&R saying, hey, they closing the doors. Sorry. And then, so that was a heartbreak for me. So
I'm sure
I had to reinvent myself. And I took some time off to just kind of like, you heal, man, because that's heartbreaking. So, I'm out there in the blizzards of New York in the wintertime shopping record deals with no money, no food, basically damn near homeless. And, but determined. And so, I just took a break and I regrouped. I got a 3 college degrees. So I went back to school, started doing other things, living my life, having children, grandbabies now and all that stuff. So took a 7-year sabbatical from music and then turned. I said, listen, I got to change my name because I had a lot of stuff go down with other people with my music. So, I had to change my name to like Prince had to do. A lot of artists have to reinvent themselves after they've been through stuff as one persona. You got to change it. So I went with Saint Jaimz, and all Saint Jaimz is basically that I'm basically here to bring back rhythm and blues and lead the masses back to some real structured R&B, because that's kind of what I consider myself, but that Renaissance guy.
Sure. When did you start Saint Jaimz? What year was that?
2010.
Oh, okay.
I had a project called Love is a Psycho. I put out Love is a Psycho and a Cycle. So that was when R&B singers were singing more pop music, trying to like cross over to popular music, because R&B started shifting from dominance to irrelevance. And so everybody started doing pop records. I can name a lot of R&B artists that started doing pop music, trying to compete. And they then our genre suffered because of it. Now we haven't fully recovered. I believe R&B currently is still on life support as a genre, man. And I don't think it got everything to do with race completely. I think race is part of it, because when we associate R&B, rhythm and blues, we consider Black music, kind of like race music was today. But I disagree with that. I think there's a lot because you got to remember when Justin Timberlake, Sam Smith, Ed Sheeran was winning Grammys for R&B records and album of the year and single of the year. So you can't really say that box it in as a Black genre anymore. But I digress. I just think that it's definitely struggling. And I think the mainstream labels are not investing big budgets in rhythm and blues, which makes a lot of people suffer that choose this as a genre, man. It's tough.
Yeah, and the genre itself is just, you cannot be bad at what you do to be an R&B, right?
Right.
I mean, it's not like you can start like a punk band and get a fan base and on 3 chords and some yelling, but
and keep it moving, right? You gotta be dope R&B. You get your butt handed to you, boy.
Oh yeah, I mean, just because it's so much slower, and you have to really know how to hit notes. Because if you cannot sing, it is like the most apparent thing ever. Right?
Real talk, my brother. That's why you gotta have cojones to do R&B, man, and then put yourself out there like I do as an independent, man. My videos, my music, my whole brand. I ain't afraid. I'm unapologetic. I don't care.
I like that. Yeah. That's the way you got to be, right? I mean, you have to be in people's faces.
Can't be scared.
No, you can't. So once St. Jaimz starts going and you're putting records out, are you trying to do the tour thing again? And
with COVID, man, I'm just trying to see how this thing pans out. Like anything else. I mean, we had influenza when we went through smallpox, chickenpox.
Oh yeah.
We had to adjust to a new pandemic in our nation, in our global planet. So I'm just kind of like chilling back, laying back. We got to remember, we're only a little over a year into this thing, and people are acting like we've been dealing with COVID for 20 years. It's only been
right.
Slow down, everybody. Relax. Calm down with the vaccine. Don't be vaccinated. I don't want to get all that, because we all don't. Nobody really knows until we know. Even Fauci still, he going back and forth. He flip flop. He don't know.
He doesn't know what. Yeah.
Nobody. Just relax, everybody, and do it. Live it case by case. I just had COVID 3 months ago, and it really almost took me out. I lost 50 pounds. I was dehydrated, malnourished, couldn't eat, and it was crazy, man. So I don't disrespect that pandemic at all, but you know, I'm just taking it a moment at a time. I'm grateful to be alive, man, because it almost took me out. Real talk. So I'm just
wow. Well, I'm glad that you're. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's such a bizarre, you know, illness, because some people will be asymptomatic and nothing's going on, and then you could have some. I mean, somebody like you look fairly healthy to me. Right. I mean, like, and then you could just totally take you out. And it was doing that to, you know, young adults that should be, you know, in the prime of their, you know, condition or whatever.
Exactly. So, excuse me. So, you know, and, you know, I try not to get into the politics of the pandemic, because, you know, we all are opinionated in America, which is the beauty of our country, that we can believe what we choose to and live the way we choose to. And then you're gonna have those that don't agree with you, because they're too busy worrying about what you're doing instead of worrying about their own business. And so, but when you get older, you start realizing that you just can't. You got to pick your battles with people, with society, with the government, with your friends, with your close loved ones, and even your significant other. Just pick your battle. So, listen. Somebody taught me this one thing: a person persuaded against their own will is of the same opinion still. So no matter how much you push them to feel different about what they truly believe, you're not going to change their position. So why argue?
I love that. I've never heard that before.
Yes,
I mean, I've heard the point, but not the way you just said it. What did you say again? That a person
persuaded against their will, same opinion still.
I like that a lot. That should be on a poster.
you can use it anytime.
That is really good.
Where you got it from?
I'll make it in a poster and quote it and then put Saint Jaimz. I really like that. So, well, speaking of, you know, you're talking about how the R&B genre itself is kind of on life support. Is that why you chose to do this like throwback covers record?
Yeah, I thought. Well, I got a lot of original material that's just as in the same level of quality.
Yeah, you have a new record out, right?
Yeah, I got a new record called "I'm Not the Enemy," which is the first song I wrote 20 years ago or more, man. Maybe 30 years ago. My first record.
Wow.
So I remixed that record so many times trying to get that right formula. I had a acoustic pop vibe back in 2000. I flipped this record so many times, and this is my final interpretation and presentation of it. I'm done. I'm too old. I'm not doing it again. So this is final. I got a really great video with it. I think it's a Grammy record to me. I'm just, you know, I'm not looking for a Grammy or a label situation. I'm just looking to make sure that my music, I leave a legacy of music for my children, my grandchildren, and the world that appreciates it. And sometimes it's not until you're no longer here that people discover you and you become something more than you thought that you end up being, you know, while you're alive. So I just, if I leave the world with my legacy of music and rhythm and blues, I did my part, man, because that's what I was called to do, and I've owned that.
I like that. I like that a lot. But I want to talk to you about the Gentle cover.
Okay, being Gentle record. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you want me?
Yeah. So did that start? Wait, because it came out like what, during COVID?
Yeah, 2020. Yeah. So COVID was it was great for me. I don't bask in my success, while I know a lot of people suffered during that year, man. A lot of people lost loved ones. There's been a lot of loss and heartache and pain and adversity, especially economically and health-wise for people. But to answer your question, yeah, COVID was really beneficial for me as an independent artist because everyone was home. I was engaging. I'm on social media. I'm live. I'm talking to the people. I'm promoting like a madman. And it just blew up for me on an independent level right after that. We were about 3 million streams, 2.8 million streams on the single, almost 7 million on the Throwback EP, hitting about 7 million. I mean, that's big numbers for independent. You know what I mean?
Huge. That's huge numbers for anyone, right? Let alone being independent. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. So being Gentle, man, that record was one of my favorite songs as a kid. I remember slow dancing with a girl, one young lady I actually was my high school crush, and So I told myself when I got older, I want to remake the record. I researched the record to see who had covered it since. Only one person, a cat named Dino. He did an R&B version. I mean, jazz, like a Kenny G saxophone version. It's pretty dope. But I got permission from the original author and composer, Jerry Mims, who's a friend of mine and my brother and I. And he told me I could have carte blanche with the record. He said, just do what you do. He said, I've been listening to your stuff and how you work. He said, I know you're gonna kill it. Just go ahead and have free reign, do your thing, and then send it to me. I'll let you know how I want to proceed. I sent him the record, final mix. He hit me back immediately and said, listen, I will be remiss not to show you love here. He said, so I'm gonna give you 50% publishing to your version. So I own half of that record.
Wow.
Come on, man.
That is incredible. That is incredible.
Unheard of in the music industry. People ain't giving up publishing.
No, no way.
So that's how that record started, man. And it's my flagship record outside in terms of independence. This next go around in my career. And I'm just, I'm excited about what's been going on. I'm just relishing in the moment, man. I'm trying to help. I got new artists. I got my own label, promotions company. I'm doing a lot of things independently. You got to have multiple streams of income, and you definitely got to be a jack of all trades. You just can't be stuck in one position. And at my age, I'm a CEO and an artist. And a lot of times as an artist, because they still see me as a singer, they don't realize I'm the brainchild behind a lot of the stuff you see business-wise. And so you get people talking to you like an artist, and I have to say, pump the brakes. I'm the boss.
Right,
so
right.
And so I'm looking for a manager if you know anybody. but that manager gotta have his own stuff. Can't be coming and try to take my pocketbook, in my piggy bank.
Right, yeah. And that's what you have now, right? You have the leverage to do that, especially with the internet, because everything is so like black and white when it comes to numbers. Like people can go on your thing and be like, oh, who's Saint Jaimz? Is he anybody? Oh, wow. His new song has 1.5 million plays or whatever it is. It's like, oh, he is legit, right?
Exactly. And that's cool. And I just try to keep my ego out of this thing at this point in my life, man. Ego is not always a negative connotation. I think it just means you take pride in who you are. Ego becomes a negative when you think you're better and above other people and you don't have any regard for other people's position on things. Mm-hmm. But in this industry, it's very easy to get caught up in the negative side of ego. But then people would look at you as arrogant. Right. So like that stuff. I'm too grown. I'm different mindset. I know I'm doing this for the love of the music, man. And because it's really not money in the music industry right now for independent artists. No, it's not paying well because we need legislation passed to protect musicians, artists, and composers and engineers and anybody involved, like the union. You can be an actor. You got the SAG. You got all the protection, the unions. I mean, you can't do nothing to an actor without getting in trouble. So it needs to be the thing for musicians and artists out here, man. We have no protection.
No, and especially when it comes to streaming and everything else. I have a handful of friends that are streaming these. I mean, you stream these big numbers, and it equates to like nothing.
Nothing, bro. I'm a testament. I raise my hand in integrity and transparency. I can put up big numbers, and I'm just not seeing the residual, bro. It's not cool. Right. See, it's not making sense to make records. If I spend $5,000 on a record to make a song, and I can't even make that back to break even to make another one. So at least if I made the $5-6 back, I could take that and do another record. It makes sense. Then I build an organic fan base and traction based upon the sheer work ethic. But if I can't make that money back that I spent to make the record, how can I continue? I'm hemorrhaging money at that point. It's not making business sense. I have a master's degree in business, and it don't make sense if I can't take my product and capitalize off of what I made to go back and keep making it. If Nike didn't make money off Jordans, how can they keep making Jordans?
Right. If they're paying $10 to make a pair of shoes and selling them for $9, obviously they're not. That ain't working out for them.
Exactly, but that's exactly how it is for the music industry for artists now that make records. It's ridiculous. Come on, man. It's not cool.
Yeah, because the companies that are making the money are the Spotifys of the world that you're paying like a monthly service fee to, right? Like I pay, whatever, $3 or $5 a month, so I don't have to listen to commercials. But then all their Spotify's just taking that money, and then they're like, "Oh, somebody stream your song, and here's 0.03% of 1 penny." You're like, "Oh, thanks."
10 years ago, you was getting 70 to 90 cents per download.
Right.
Dude, if I was still getting download money, you know how much money I have right now in my pocket for them. I just put be ridiculous. But okay, so anyway, I'm at the point now where I'm got to make some decisions on continuing on with it, man, because it's not making any good. It's not making business sense to me anymore. So I love it, but it's got to start making business sense because the engineers, the producers, the major people that do this are not reducing their prices to go with the economy. Come on, artists can't afford this stuff, but they're raising prices. How can you raise your price as an engineer and a producer if the artist ain't even making money off the record once they finish paying you?
Right. Come on. And then they're going to take part of your money, right?
Exactly.
Oh, well, I produced that, so right. I need a percent.
Come on, man. It's just stuff all over.
Oh, man. Well, are you still writing new music?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of new music and cute videos already done. I'm sitting on about just so much music and content. So I can literally not sit right here on my computer at home and rock the internet without change clothes.
I like that. That's awesome. Well, you're doing awesome, dude. I love the records that you put out so far, and I was listening to it earlier today. I loved Simple Man was a great song that you have out.
Yeah, my pops, man, 77 years old, killing them right now. 1.3 million streams on that record in like not even 2 months.
Is it really your dad on the album?
Yeah, it's my
pops. I saw it said Pops, and I didn't realize it. I didn't put it all together.
Well, see, everybody's got that program mind, because it's such a narcissistic industry. Think about it. Everybody's me, I. But I'm like the Quincy Jones to my independence. So what I'm saying to you is my pops is this artist on the record, but I produced the record. So Quincy Jones used to be Quincy Jones featuring Tevin Campbell, Quincy Jones featuring Tamia, James Ingram, Patty Austin. I'm taking a page out of that book where my brand gets to be a part of the process because I'm the producer without me being in the videos like Diddy all the time.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's a great record, man. I like it a lot.
Yes, sir. So, awesome. Yes. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Saint Jaimz, for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, real quick, you can find me on my official website, saintjaimz.com, all social media platforms. I'm everywhere. Google me, SaintJaimz. I strictly do this for the love of the art, and I'm an R&B connoisseur, ride or die. And I love music. I love people. I love helping people, independent artists. If you need something, hit me up. I'm a tangible artist, regular dude that just happens to do music. I make music. Music don't make me. Let's get it, baby.
I love that. I have one more quick question for you. Do you have any advice for aspiring artists? Yes,
I say you have to be really serious. This is not a hobby. If you're doing this for a hobby, then go ahead and play Skittles or something, or play with some Skittles if you're trying to do this for a hobby. But if you're really trying to do this music thing for real, you need to learn. It's a research game. It's learning from people that have already been through what you're going to go through. You're not going to escape paying your dues. So get over the trauma and the drama of the industry and focus on the art and the business, because a lot of these artists don't know the business. And then get yourself a good team of people that support you and believe in what you're doing, and listen to them. And if you're a singer, you got to have other singers around you to hear how you sing. A lot of singers are in the booth by themselves with just them and an engineer, and there's no other ears to say that's pitchy, that's off, that key's not right. You could have sang it like this and help. So I got a team, man. That's important. And you learn it as you get older. Can't do everything by yourself. Bring me back.